thank you guys. So tonight we're going to talk about improv and how it relates to business analysis. And for about 5 or 6 years in Atlanta, I was a trained improv actor and then performed in Atlanta for years. My wife and I were getting married and decided to have a family, and improv was not paying the bills, wasn't paying the house payments and stuff, so I decided to get a real job, become a business analyst, or continue my business analyst career. But I've always been thinking, I loved improv, and I've been thinking for a while, how do I marry the two things I love with improv and business analysis, and I kind of came up with this workshop. So one of the things, just off the bat, how many of you, when you go into elicitation sessions, kind of write out a script of exactly what you're going to say, word for word, and also have a script for the other person you're interviewing? Anybody? Yeah, no, right? And that's the same thing with improv. There's no scripts. It's not like a movie where you read a script and you practice your lines and you kind of go in and you can work on that interaction. Improv is, you get suggestions from a crowd as far as improv comedy goes, and you just act out scenes. And you play off the other actors in there and coming up kind of on the fly with things to do. And that's the same thing, similarly, with business analysis, right? You have a plan in mind of the goals of the meeting that you want to accomplish, but that's kind of about it. You start talking and asking some questions. I was talking to Jen earlier. Somebody asked her, what are all the questions I have to ask to get the requirements for this application? She's like, there's no checklist of specific questions, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You start asking some questions and you start digging deeper. And that's kind of what you do with business analysis and with improv. I will say this is a safe zone. So managers, you cannot fire somebody for making a fool of themselves today. No, I'm kidding. But I'm not your manager. This is a safe area, so it's a place to learn, right? A place to have fun. She's looking at it. Is that your manager? So just to get started, why don't everybody kind of stand up and we'll all warm up together. Are you guys freezing in here or what? I know this room feels cold. No? Okay.
It's not too bad.
All right, so this is a warm-up activity that we did, my troupe did, it was kind of right before we went on stage to kind of get our blood flowing and our minds thinking. So just, if everybody can start, slap your legs, slap, all together. And this gets us all thinking, there you go. Took her a little while. All right, now repeat after me. You can say it as loud as possible. Just repeat after I say the words, right? Flee.
Flee.
There you go. Flee, fly.
Flee, fly.
Flee, fly, flow.
Flee, fly, flow.
Vista. Kuma lama, kuma lama, kuma lama, vista.
Kuma lama, kuma lama, kuma lama, vista.
Oh, no, 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 capista.
Oh, no, 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 capista.
Eeny, meeny, decimini, uwana, wana, meeny, decimini, salamini, uwana, wana. All right, good job. Yeah, the first thing that I'm going to talk about, I'm basically going to go over 3 kind of improv rules or techniques that you do. One of the things in improv is that you always keep conversations moving forward, right? If you're up on stage with somebody and they say to you, oh, Coop, your hair is beautiful in that yellow color. And you're like, my hair is not yellow. What are you talking about? I'm bald. I don't understand. And that, right, what happens to that conversation? Yeah, Al it dies, right? It goes down. I put all the burden back on to the other actor, right? So you got to keep the conversation moving forward. And that's the same thing in business analysis. And to kind of prove the point, I'm going to have, I have 2 people I picked out to do some role plays. So if Colette and Scott, if you guys want to come up real quick, we'll do a role play. Give them a hand. Now this is semi-improv. I will say we talked about these before. So I'm going to have someone play the good VA, and I think Colette, you're going to be my good VA for this one. Scott's going to be the devil VA. So just to set up the scene, I'm going to act like I'm a stakeholder. We're kind of at the end of the analysis phase on a project, and we have to, I'm the stakeholder, and I really need these 3 new requirements, new features for the application that's getting ready to roll out pretty soon. So, okay, so here we go. Hey, Colette, how you doing? Hey, I know you're busy trying to wrap things up, but I had a dream last night, and these 3 new features got to get in now. We got to have them.
Well, you know we have a requirements deadline.
Yeah.
That's right.
I understand.
So did we have a chance to cover those during any of our review sessions?
No, like I said, I had a dream and it just popped. So I haven't thought about it before. I apologize.
And have you talked to anyone else about these?
No, that's why I wanted to talk to you and see what we can do.
Well, what kind of time do you have available to actually sit down and go through those?
We can talk about it now. I mean, I'm really excited about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to review what we already captured, or in thoughts that we might have already have part of that captured?
Yeah, that would be good maybe to see if some of those are caught up in there.
Okay,
That would
because
be great.
we talked about so many things, and our
Right.
requirements document is huge. And one of the things that we're struggling with is making certain that we've maintained the scope of what we've talked about. If these are outside of scope, then we might need to take a different approach.
Oh, okay.
They might be included in
Gotcha.
the scope of what we've already worked with, so that they might already be shored up
All
in the
right.
actual technical terms of how we phrase this.
Okay,
When we go
great.
through that review session with you, talking about these new requirements, we'll start with the original requirements document, so we have a basis, and if they're not covered, maybe we can schedule some additional time to work through those and see how we can either potentially modify what we have or create some new enhancements.
Okay, great.
So we'll see
Awesome.
what we have in scope that might come.
All right. That Colette takes us to the next level, doesn't she? I asked her for that. I'm kidding. No, but okay, so you saw Colette. Thank you, Colette. Give her a hand. Colette obviously kept the conversation moving forward. Now let's see the devil VA here. Hey, Scott. Cool. How you doing? Hey, man, I had this awesome dream last night, and these 3 new features to this application have to get put in.
Well, our requirements were due last Friday.
Yeah, I know. Well, if I had thought about them before that, I would definitely talk to you.
Yeah, well, our development schedule's already set in stone, and we're really not going to be able to put anything else in.
You can't put, but we need these in the schedule. We need these in this release.
So these 3 things that you thought about last night, we
Right.
needed all the whole time?
I guess I just never thought of it.
Yeah, our development schedule's pretty much set in stone. We're
What
probably
are you
not going to
telling
put those
me?
in.
What do you tell me?
Well, if they weren't important 2 days ago, they're probably not important now.
Pretty good. I've done this a bunch of times. I've never been threatened. Okay, good. Give us a hug. You did a good job showing the good VA and the bad VA. Colette, obviously, what was one thing you noticed about Colette? She kept things moving, right? She didn't. What did she not say to me? No, right? But she did it in a way that, okay, we're going to have to let's look at the current requirements, make sure the things you're thinking about, maybe they're covered, maybe they're not. We want to keep the scope set, and you know we've got a tight deadline. So, but she never said no. What about Scott, the devil over there? Yeah, Stone. He said, dude, first of all, why are you talking to me? You should have thought of those before, right? And now you're coming to me a week after requirements were due? I don't think so, right? So what actually happens? So Scott stopped the conversation right away, right? I was like not getting anywhere with Scott. But what happens to that conversation? Does it end?
Well, probably something may get escalated.
Right, yeah. What is a stakeholder going to do that says, I got to have these in, that's paying your salary, right? Basically, what are they going to do? They're going to escalate. They're going to go around maybe to the PM, to your manager, even to the director level somewhere. So you have to keep that conversation moving forward.